the stat that aggravates me about this industry, I love this industry. It's a $40 billion industry. I mean, how can you not love a $40 billion industry? But the issue that bothers us most is that 50% of people quit within the first year. And it's just staggering to me that this industry that could change so many lives loses half of everybody within the first year because they're only taught how to spam friends, family, and Facebook. That is not a business. That's almost being selfish by saying, support my business, buy my stuff, even if you don't need it. There are millions of people in the world right now that need your product or opportunity. I wish I knew you when you owned your company. If I knew you when you owned your company, I would say, look out there, find the people who are desperately in need of your product, present it to them. So our passion and our mission is to save this industry from killing itself. You know, this 50% attrition rate is just driving us crazy. So we want to keep your audience out of the 50% failure rate.
Welcome to the Betterology podcast, helping you think better, do better, and be better in your business, family, and faith, and get happier, healthier, and wealthier along the way. I'm Philip Gonzalez, and my guest today is Melford Bibbins, a lifelong entrepreneur who, along with his wife Conchetta, has built 4 7-figure businesses in the last 17 years. Take a look. A 10,000 square foot med spa and fitness center in New York, a fast-growing affiliate marketing practice, a wildly successful supplement company, and then they went on to go from 0 to 6 figures in 6 months with their network marketing business, on their way to achieving Blue Diamond status after that. Now, in the process, they've helped over 42,000 wellness clients heal their families through financial freedom, fitness, nutrition, and natural medicine. And now, through their 7-figure downline system, Melford and Conchetta are helping everyday people supercharge their network marketing business by showing them how to share their product with the people who need it most so they can dramatically boost their sales and stop spamming Facebook, family, and friends. Now, Melford is also an ACE certified master trainer, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, and a national champion powerlifter. Wow, that's a lot. All that said, Melford, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Philip. It's great to be here today, bud.
All right, Melford, I got to ask, you're making some amazing claims here. You mean to tell me that you found a way to grow a steady and healthy network marketing income with your 7-figure downline system and doing this without spamming your friends, your family, or Facebook? And you're also claiming that you can not only do that, but help people jump multiple ranks per month using your trademark one-to-many system instead of the old one-to-few spamming model. That's your claim. Is that legit?
Absolutely right. There is no need to spam anybody. Do not get uninvited to Thanksgiving ever again.
All right. I want to learn more about that. But before we do, let's talk a little bit about how you got here. Tell us, how did you get started in all this?
But, you know, Philip, we have 2 daughters. One of our daughters is the quote unquote sick kid. The other one could like walk through the Ebola ward and never catch anything. So we've been dealing with this for a long time. You know, even though Conchetta and I were very, health and wellness based. I mean, heck, we owned a gym, we owned a supplement company. We did all this stuff. We still had a daughter that from elementary school all the way through high school had the albuterol puffer in her back pocket, nebulizer next to her bed. I mean, think about that. Like a little kid in elementary school with a hard drug in her back pocket. It drove us nuts, but we didn't know what else to do. We were following directions. And then, like probably some of your listeners today, we got approached by a friend. They said, try the product. I promise it'll help. So, my first thought is you've obviously never had a kid with asthma. You've never had to live with an asthma attack before. So the old oil lady said, give this stuff a shot, see what happens. If it works, great. Come back to me. If not, we'll try something else. So we figure, give it a shot. So I'm going to cut to the chase for you. This product that we used cured our daughter's asthma. And she's my daughter, so I can actually say that word. We've witnessed a miracle in our daughter's life that have been sick the entire time. So Conchetta and I looked at each other and we're saying to ourselves, this stuff is amazing, but who do we tell about it? I mean, we knew that network marketing was about finding that perfect product and telling friends. But for us, reality set in. We had just moved to Florida. We had been working out of the house for the last 15 years. We had no friends and family in the area whatsoever to talk to. And we weren't big influencers on the internet. I mean, we weren't big on Facebook or Instagram or anything like that. So we really didn't have that ability that a lot of folks in network marketing have to pester or spam friends, family, Facebook to try and get out there and figure out how to spread their product. So we kind of looked back at ourselves and said, what are we going to do? We've been so successful in other industries before. Now we're doing this new thing and we have no clue what the heck we're going to do. So our moment of truth was when a dear friend, Dr. Mark DeBrinket, and his wife, Christy, stopped by for a Christmas holiday. His folks live about an hour away from us. So they were traveling down to see the folks for Christmas, stopped in to have lunch with us. And, I hadn't seen Mark in a couple of years. I knew that in the past, he had a horrible car accident. He's a chiropractor. So, he must use his body to earn his living. Right. So, not seeing Mark in a couple of years, we didn't realize how bad he had gotten. When they pulled into our driveway, we saw Christy get out of the driver's seat, which is very strange. Mark's kind of a man's man. He is not going to be driven around by his wife. So, that was a little odd right there. Then we saw Christy open the door, pull out a wheelchair and put Mark into it to come into our house. So, that was when we're looking at ourselves going, oh my Lord, this dear friend of ours is in such physical pain right now. He is in a wheelchair. Let's try the oils on him. So Conchetta had went into her little box of voodoo, found all the right oils to work with this guy. An hour later, he got up out of his wheelchair, walked over to the lunch table, and we had lunch together. So that was a real big experience for us. And he, as a doctor, was so shocked. That was the cool part of it for us, was, that was almost our epiphany moment, was a doctor saying, wow, this stuff is amazing. How can I share it with my patients? So that was how the whole thing started for us, was just actually treating another doctor and having him go, you got to tell the world about this stuff.
Wow. Okay. So it sounds like that was a real epiphany moment where you realized that the oils themselves was really helpful, and obviously a doctor was into it. Tell us what happened after that.
But we were starting to put the science together. We really wanted to figure out, Conchetta and I, again, having owned our own supplement company, being pretty analytical people, we wanted to figure out exactly why this would work so perfectly for health professionals. That was what, Phil, we always kind of didn't like the network marketing model because it didn't matter who needed your product. It didn't matter who wanted your product. You just wanted to push it out there. So when we realized we had fallen across something that worked miraculously well, we knew that we had to have a reason for this to be brought into doctors' offices. So we started doing our homework. We found out the science. We found out all the things a doctor would need. We did a bunch of interviews to find out precisely how they'd want to treat their patients. Nice. The problem was we were enrolling doctors and losing them at the same rate. Come to find out, if you didn't have a turnkey system, doctors were going to fall off as quickly as they joined. Why? They're here to heal. Doctors and health professionals. And when, I apologize if I'm using the word doctor too often, Philip. I mean just health professionals in general. Could be a yoga instructor, could be a massage therapist, could be a physical therapy doctor, a cardiothoracic surgeon. Whatever part of the health world they live in, they need the science to support why they should share it with their patients or clients, and exactly how they're going to do it without adding hours to their day. So that was kind of our moment of truth. We figured out that we had to have a complete turnkey system that allowed the doctors to be totally hands-off and let the staff handle everything. So we had to go back to the drawing board. I mean, it's so funny. We, like a lot of success in life, you go like this super fast, and all of a sudden you go, holy cow, plateau. What the heck are we going to do? And then the plateau starts to sink down, and we realize we are not gaining traction. We're just staying steady here. So we got together. We, again, interviewed even more doctors. We got our programmers together, our writers, everybody together, and started designing a practice in a box. That was it. That was honestly, this is, if I can open the kimono to anything to you right now and explain why our model ended up working, was because we figured out that if doctors have everything, if they've got clinical data, tools, techniques, scripts, marketing, all the staff training, all that stuff, and automated patient follow-up, then we were able to work with our one-to-many model. I know you've heard me use this term before, the one-to-few model versus the one-to-many model. Yeah, this is where that was truly our secret. Was the thing that took us from zero to Blue Diamond was completely using our one-to-many model with these health professionals.
Well, so what I'm hearing you say, and this is so fascinating because I've had a little bit of experience in the network marketing field as well. And man, I remember the kind of awkwardness of talking to someone and saying, hey, is this something you might be interested? Or you have the little script and you kind of open it up. And I got to say, I remember feeling a little icky, even though, it was going to help people and it was good. But what I'm hearing you say is that you guys discovered early on that if you just bypassed that whole thing and focused directly on health professionals, that you were seeing a huge amount of people be interested, but then you realized to keep them engaged, you had to take that next step and give
Precisely.
them that.
But,
Phil,
think about it this way. Yeah, I'm sorry. Think about it this way. A health professional may have 100, 1,000, 5,000 clients or patients who come to that person looking specifically for advice how to feel better. I mean, think about it. When you go to your doctor and they write your prescription, you fill it. I mean, it's just what you do. We've all been trained over our entire lives to follow what health professionals do for us. So now think about it this way. If back when you owned your network marketing business, what if you had health professionals writing prescriptions for your products to all 5,000 of their patients? Nice. What would that do? What if the same health professional was now enrolling their peers? Now their peers are having access to 5,000 patients. This is how you could have added tens of thousands of clients overnight by having health professionals prescribe your product. That's how you would have gotten to the top of the pay plan.
Right. So, sounds like that's exactly how the 7-figure downline was born.
Exactly right. Exactly right.
Okay, so it sounds like this was a really intense time in your life, Melvin. So let me ask this question, right? Because I mean, you're getting all these doctors enrolled. They're changing lives. You're building out this system to help them stay on track and prescribe your products to their patients. Mm-hmm. So coming through this whole ordeal, was it pretty much just you alone, or were there other people who were helping you with it?
Oh, Lord, all credit goes to my beautiful wife, Conchetta. I'm going to completely remove myself from the person who launched this thing. It was 100% Conchetta. As you mentioned earlier, Philip, we had other businesses going on. We still had our digital marketing business and our supplement business at the same time that Conchetta launched our network marketing company. So it was her that figured this out. I'll be blunt and honest. I was at the point where I said, this network marketing sounds great, but are you going to make any money doing it? Are you distracting from our profitable businesses by doing this network marketing thing? And then I saw what she did. She was so smart to not think, my upline told me, make a list of 100 people, call everybody until they're sick of hearing from me, bother my friends, make my mom buy stuff to support my business. She found that repugnant. It was so opposite to what we did. And then we had that Mark moment. I call it the Mark moment when a doctor said, this stuff is amazing. You need to spread it out to the world. So, we put our heads together. We talked to all these health professionals, figuring out precisely what they need to see success in their practice. So not success in our business, success in their practice. Once we figured that out, again, she went from 0 to 6 figures in 6 months. And that was our path to Blue Diamond.
Wow. I love how you really highlighted the power of not just trying to grow your own business, but you're using your business to help health professionals grow theirs. And obviously, I mean, it's been hugely successful. And it sounds like, I mean, after that breakthrough, you made really a lot of progress. Would you say it was pretty much smooth sailing from there on out?
Oh, I wish. I think that any entrepreneur that you're going to interview on this podcast is going to tell you that it never is easy. Again, you hit that quick stride, but where we found out, and again, you spending time in the network marketing industry, you understand that hitting your goals as an upline, hitting your goals as professional is not going to make you the top of the pay plan until you get other people on your downline getting those same goals. So without having a duplicatable step-by-step system, you're going to keep hitting plateau after plateau after plateau. One thing to keep in mind, Philip, is that you are never going to own a 7-figure network marketing business if you don't have people in your downline earning 6 figures. It's just the basic math. So we figured the easiest way for us to do this was to build out a duplicatable system for our team. So we were able to build out, again, we hired all the programmers, we hired all the videographers, we did all this stuff to make it so our team could start using this system. It was the easiest way for us to get to the top. I mean, I'll admit, getting to Blue Diamond would have been way more hard if we didn't have our entire team using the one-to-many model. that was our secret to success. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Wow. So you've got this team, and here's my question too. Like, so you built out a system. Was this system that your team was also using to help them be successful?
Yep. It's funny you should ask that question, because we get asked this so often is, did you force your team into just enrolling health professionals? No, we didn't need to, because now they were more professional with everything else they were doing because of the training and mindset of drilling down to the right niche, of figuring out your brand, of figuring out how to search for the perfect person that actually wants or needs your product. That was actually what got us the most success, was having that duplication model, excuse me, that allowed them to do the same system with anybody. They could go to any business owner that this was applicable to. You could own a store, you could own a flower shop, and one of these products might be applicable to your clients. Why wouldn't you offer it to them? You might have friends who have, terrible diseases that never even realized that your product could fix, because they only got hammered into joining your network marketing opportunity, as opposed to truly helping them physically with what they needed. So I think that could have been almost the cinch pin to hold this thing together. Was we saw so many people rocking it up by working with health professionals, the one-to-many model, but it made it so even the folks who wanted to stay stuck in the one-to-few model were just doing it better because they were treating it like a profession.
That's so interesting, because on the one hand, obviously the business itself and the product itself was helpful, but it sounds like your real success wasn't the individual product at all. It was the system that you were able to use. That obviously, it sounds like that system could be applicable to any number of products that would be helpful for health professionals.
Absolutely. Yeah. If you're working with a health, so Philip, I don't know what company you were in before, but if you were working with a health product that has the science and that has a good background knowledge, it's got to be something that a health professional can use. It can't be something that was just picked up on the side of the street, which, that's one of the beautiful things about this industry, is the reason network marketing grows so well is because they typically have very good products. So if your company had a really good health product, it's going to be applicable not only to all the health professionals, but everybody else out there. And man, it just drives me crazy, because the stat that aggravates me about this industry. I love this industry. It's a $40 billion industry. How can you not love a $40 billion industry? But the issue that bothers us most is that 50% of people quit within the first year. And it's just staggering to me that this industry that could change so many lives loses half of everybody within the first year, because they're only taught how to spam friends, family, and Facebook. That is not a business. That's almost being selfish by saying, support my business, buy my stuff, even if you don't need it. There are millions of people in the world right now that need your product or opportunity. I wish I knew you when you owned your company. If I knew you when you owned your company, I would say, look out there, find the people who are desperately in need of your product, present it to them. So our passion and our mission is to save this industry from killing itself. This 50% attrition rate is just driving us crazy. So we want to keep your audience out of the 50% failure rate club.
I like that. That's not the club you want to join.
No, that's a bad club.
Oh man, what a journey. I love hearing the stories of how different people get to where they are. So let me ask this question. So you've come through this whole 17 years worth of building these businesses, and you've done the in-person businesses, and you've done the marketing related businesses, and then you've done the supplement companies selling products, but then you come across this way to help people scale their network marketing business, and you use it yourself, and you see great success. This 7-figure downline sounds more like a training center than anything else to me, right? So it sounds like discovering that one-to-many model and how to train people in it was a real turning point to you. So take us to where you were today. Then, like, fast forward to you're at Blue Diamond, you're working with a team you love, and you're working with health professionals. And how many patients were you serving per year, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh boy, if we had, and again, just speaking specifically about our team, we've got a couple thousand. Just let's take one kind of doctor, chiropractors. We have a couple thousand chiropractors on our team right now, and your average chiropractor treats between 175 and 350 patients per week. Again, that's national average. So the fact that we had products that were so applicable to that kind of practice, we had things that chiropractors could truly treat their patients with quite nicely, blew up. So we had, tens of thousands, if not, I didn't even know how many customers we got out of that. But let me tell you the one thing that really warms my heart more than anything else. We love working with the chiropractors. We love working with natural medicine doctors. But when we would work with a mainstream doctor, an oncologist, a cardiothoracic surgeon, somebody who is really treating life and death situations, and we found out that our product could help them, that was what really won us over to wanting to create this system that everybody in the network marketing industry could use. We've really figured out that the one to few model is the exact reason why there's a 50% drop off rate. People don't want to do these house parties. They don't want to meet for coffee one-on-one with people they don't know. They don't want to do weird meetings places. They want to have a person that they know is on their team to help the human race get better. And that's exactly what these health professionals do.
Wow. Okay. Well, let me ask this question then, because obviously, the system is what made the big difference, and we're all about helping people make a big difference here on the podcast. So tell us a little bit more, because it sounds like you went on a huge journey, a lot of ups and downs, a ton of work. I'm just going to guess you probably spent a ton of money developing the system and getting it where you can share it with others. So do other people have to go through that up and down big thing to learn this system, or is there an easier way for them to learn this one-to-many model?
No, let me explain why it's called the 7-figure downline first, because I think it'll clear everything up for you. It's called the 7-figure downline because that's the cornerstone of the one-to-many model. So we're not saying you have to build a 7-figure business. I mean, you don't have to do anything. I know, back when you were doing your business, you probably wanted to just make, $500 or an extra $1,000 a month. I mean, if I can speak to your audience for just 1 second here, a lot of folks came on board just looking to cover one bill. Cover a car payment, maybe a mortgage, make just a couple bucks. So we're not trying to make you a 7-figure earner. If you want to, that's great. I mean, we're never going to stop it. But the point is, by building a 7-figure downline, you can adjust your income up and down because now you're working with the one-to-many model. So do you mind if I tell a story?
Oh, please do. Yeah.
We've got a buddy of ours. His name is Rob. He's a dear friend of ours. He's a family doctor up in Hunter Mountain, New York, where we used to live. And that's Hunter Mountain's where all the New Yorkers ski. So if you live in Manhattan, you ski in Hunter Mountain. Nice. Like most ski towns, the population explodes during the winter. I'm talking 80, 90, 100,000 people are in this little teeny town during the winter. During the summer, like any other ski town, goes down to nothing. 5,000 people are full timers. Our buddy, Dr. Rob, is the only doctor in that town. So Rob has 5,000 patients during the summer and the potential for 80,000 during the winter because he's the only doctor. So now imagine if Rob was on your front line. Imagine him prescribing your product to between 5 and 80,000 people. That is what the one-to-many model is. That's what you learn in the 7-figure downline. That's exactly what the system does. So I hope you don't mind me speaking directly to your audience, but I just want them, I need them to understand why one-to-many works so much better than the one-to-one or the one-to-few model. So, the trying to keep people out of the, 50% failure club. Part one, empowering you. That's the first third of the product. The first third of this entire system is discovering your deeper belief in yourself, in your product, why you're passionate to serve, who you're passionate to serve, how to tell your story, both passionately and professionally. That way, when you develop this personal brand, you've got success with everyone you talk to because you're only talking to copacetic people. You're only talking to the kind of people that you enjoy spending time with and you can help. So part one of the whole product is just getting you to be at that perfect level where you're ethically, professionally, and clinically working with these health professionals so they feel better about you. Right. Part two is finding that perfect prospect. There's the internet. There's still Yellow Pages, believe it or not. Yellow Pages still exist. Driving around your town. I just talked about Rob. He was the one doctor in town. You just drive over and see the guy. And now you've got access to 5,000 patients. So, really figuring out in part two who the perfect person is to talk to, how to get in front of their receptionist. One little ninja trick I'm going to tell you in the system is how to get the receptionist to beg the doctor to have an appointment with you. That's something that changed our entire business. Is once we figured out how to get the receptionist to want us to talk to the doctor, that literally changed everything. That knocked down a ton of roadblocks. But then you're going to have your doctor's appointments. We're going to teach you how to go through that with all your scripts and whatnot, and especially how to overcome any objections. After doing this for 11 years, we have heard everything. We have heard every objection you can imagine from every kind of doctor, and they're all right in the system, so you don't have to worry about any of that. Part 3 is what gets the doctor's success in place. Because again, if you're centering just on your success, you're only going to go so high. If you work on your success and the success of everybody you serve, you're going to grow exponentially faster. So the full third of our program is bringing success to that health professional's office, because they're going to stick around. They're going to want to tell their peers about it. So now you've got, multiple health professionals talking to thousands and thousands of clients, and again, prescribing your product to them. So we have an entire system built out in the back end with all the marketing they need. I mean, we even give them an 8-hour video loop for their waiting room, all the follow-up emails, everything. Phil, what we found after all these years?
What's that?
Doctors want to heal. That's what they want to do. They went to school for, 10, 12, 15, 20 years to learn how to heal. They don't want to learn how to run a cash register. They don't want to learn how to run email campaigns. They don't want to learn how to chase patients to get them to worry about their products. They just want to heal. So everything we teach you is going to revolve around taking the pressure off of that health professional, allowing their staff to do the work, and all the automations we're going to include in there. So wow. As a bonus, we're going to throw in all the technology you need from day one. I don't know how else I can explain it.
Oh, that's amazing. Okay, let me ask this question, because that sounds like a lot of stuff. I know that I'm a visual learner, and I always do better if I can see some of what's being talked about. Many of our listeners listen on audio, but of course, many watch the video as well. Could you show us a little bit about this system and how you deliver results?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I'd love to. Let me just share my screen with you. You can take a look at it.
All right, let me make sure you're enabled. Okay, there you go.
Okay.
All right, and let me enable your screen sharing. There we go. All right.
Right. Guys, please don't. I have a huge computer with an ugly desktop, so I tried to cover it for you to keep it as easy as possible on your eyes. So this is the 7-figure downline. This is our training system. So you can see, there's my beautiful wife, Conchetta. You can see she's very intensely teaching you something right now. Ooh, wow, I see branding for your strengths. So she loves that one. So, needless to say, we want to bring you through all these modules and make sure that you know exactly what you're doing. And that's why we broke it into thirds, because we found that humans just tend to, just like the way that phone numbers are in 3 numbers and then 4 numbers, humans tend to learn in thirds very powerfully. So we wanted to bring that deep psychology into allowing you to learn a little faster and a little easier by breaking everything up into thirds. Right. So the first third of this program is all about getting your mind right. And I'll just open a couple of modules here just to see real quick. Belief in yourself, belief in your product, the perfect fit for doctors or health professionals, how to tell that perfect story and testimonial. Deep dive into you. Again, we want to make sure that you feel amazing about your mission, amazing about the people you're going to treat and why you want to treat them. So your strengths, all your hobbies, and who are the best health professionals to approach. Quick story, Conchetta, when she was growing up, never had a normal doctor. They only had a chiropractor. They didn't even have a family doctor because their chiropractor did everything for them. So her most obvious market was chiropractors. I mean, why talk to anybody else but a chiropractor when she has, 40 some odd years of experience talking to them? So for us, total no-brainer. It's going to be the same thing for your audience. If they've had a kid who's broken their arm 5 times, you probably not know a lot about bone growth and bone doctors. You've been to enough orthopedic surgeons now to know that you can actually talk to those folks. So next is going to be actually finding that perfect health professional. So geographically, on the internet, using social media.
And you're walking people through how to do all this step by step.
Correct.
So they can learn from you exactly how to do this.
Precisely, step by step, exactly what took us to Blue Diamond. I mean, no varying from the path whatsoever. This is precisely what we did every day, day in and day out until we hit Blue Diamond. Right. So this is now it's been 11 years of us figuring out precisely how to talk to these folks. So, deep diving in, here's a module that I actually love a lot. We call it filling in the holes. What that means is, let's say, again, let's bring up the oncologist as a perfect example. An oncologist has worked for 12, 15, 20 years figuring out how to cure cancer. They haven't spent any time helping folks sleep. helping folks get rid of stomach issues, helping folks get rid of the stress of going through cancer. That might be the perfect opportunity for your product. So now this doctor does not need to prescribe a pharmaceutical because your product works perfectly to fill in that gap, to get that patient to sleep, to get them to have the bellyache go away, to get their appetite back after they go through chemo.
Wow.
So important. And it's again, that's why we want you to really drill down to who do I want to help and how do I want to help them? Because you're going to change the world. That's one aspect of this, Phil, that's so important to us and so heartfelt to Conchetta and myself is that, well, man, now that you're dealing with health professionals, you can truly chase your mission. I don't know anybody whose mission is to make a couple $100 a year. Everybody's mission is to make the world a better place, to have their kids be healthier, to have their parents be healthier, to have everyone around them live a better life. If you can do that at a grand scale with doctors, it's just more fun. To be honest with you, it just becomes way more fun. So we've got a module, again, completely on overcoming objections. So now we've moved out of the third that's all about you. Now we're moving into the third about how to get that doctor or health professional enrolled ethically, clinically, and professionally. So knowing how to get that perfect doctor's meeting, knowing how to have the receptionist want you to have that, beg the doctor to make that meeting for you because they know how much it's going to help the practice. Your first conversations with the doctor, even talking to the doctor about their own family. You will not believe how quickly a doctor converts to using your product when they bring it home and use it on their family and it works. They are chomping at the bit to expose it to their patients once they've actually felt it themselves or seen it in their spouse or their kids.
Yeah.
So that's 2/3 down. Now we're into the final third. Final third is all about delivering to the doctors, all about delivering to these health professionals everything they need to be successful. Because again, their drive is to heal patients or clients. It's not to do paperwork. It's not to do computer programming. It's not to do marketing or sales or any of that nonsense. They just want to serve. So you're going to empower them with all the tools they need to be able to serve their patients or clients without taking any more time out of their day. Wow. One last module I got to talk about. Obviously, we have tools and funnels. So we've got recruiting funnels for you, pre-made websites, all sorts of cool stuff. But one last thing I want to talk about because this truly changed our practice. If there is one secret that got us to Blue Diamond faster than anything else, it's the doctor of duplication. The doctor of duplication is a system that we trademarked that teaches doctors and health professionals how to enroll their peers. So now you've not got one doctor or 5 doctors, you've got 20 or 50. Now you don't have one massage therapist, you have 100 because they're learning how to enroll their peers. That was the biggest needle mover for us because again, we're only enrolling people that use the one-to-many model. Right. So when we enroll using the one-to-many model and the doctor duplication, it's just an exponential growth and adds a lot of zeros in the back. It's kind of cool.
I love that. Oh my goodness. That is so much amazing value, Mel. That is, and I can see why it was so successful. The level of detail that you guys are going into and the level of just step-by-step instruction that's been proven to work. 11 years is a long time to stick with a system and to keep refining it and improving it. That's amazing. Wow. Well, I got to say, Mel, this is so much good stuff. We have to get ready to wrap it up to close out our time together. But let me ask this question. What if somebody is interested and wants to learn more about this system? Because I would imagine there's plenty of people who'll be watching or listening who maybe they are already in a network marketing business, or maybe it's something they've been considering, but they're just not sure if they'll have what it takes. And it sounds like your system can turn anybody into an all-star person with this model. So let me actually, that said, let me ask this. Is this for moms who want a little extra income on the side?
Especially, and it's, I love the fact that you use that as the first example, because again, everything in the system revolves around professionalism. So even if you're dealing with house parties, even if you're dealing with one-on-ones, you are going to be much more professionally, clinically, and ethically moving forward with your business by using this system. So having all the tools, proving the science, the issue we have, and one of the reasons why there's been, a 50% attrition rate in network marketing is because people go and they say, buy my product, it's kind of cool. Buy my product to help me out, buy my product to support my new business. It's not, here's the science that proves this product will help the problem you're having. When your business revolves around, here's the science as to why this product will help the problem you're having, it doesn't matter who you're talking to. They are going to listen a lot more than somebody opening up a box and pitching about all the stuff that's in it.
Okay, so talk about that a little more then, because maybe what are some specific products that are a good fit for the one-to-many model?
Yeah. I guess the beauty of this is, Philip, is that about 70% of the network marketing industry revolves around health and wellness products. And that's what we concentrate on. I mean, there are plenty of other products out there in the world that I'm sure do wonderful things, but for us, we really want to impact the world as much as humanly possible with health and doctors. So we feel like we move the needle on making the planet a better place faster by working specifically with health professionals. So, about 70% of the network marketing industry revolves around that. As long as you're in a company that has the science behind it and proven products that work. I mean, there's some great essential oil companies out there, amazing CBD companies out there. There's supplement companies out there that are started by doctors. As long as you've got a great formulator, a great in-house doctor, and all the science to support what you're doing, we can help you to sell those products much more effectively using the one-to-many model to health professionals. So that's everything. So it really doesn't matter what your background is. I mean, that's the nice part. We love working with transitioning professionals. That's, who hasn't seen, the Great Resignation? Who hasn't seen that people are, losing jobs and not wanting them again? Who hasn't seen people that don't want to be in a scary office that might have a disease floating around it? There's a lot of folks that are transitioning to network marketing that actually have a business background. So for them, this is perfect. This really allows you to, stick right with your customer service role, your sales role, your marketing role, everything you've done in your profession. We brought this in there. But even if you don't have a job currently, even if you've never had a job, if you're more professionally and more ethically presenting your product to health professionals, you're just going to grow faster. And again, it doesn't matter if you don't want to have a 7-figure business. You just want to make an extra $500 a month. This is how to do it without pestering your friends, family, or Facebook. Well,
the other thing I love about that too, Mel, is that I think about if you're going to your friends and family and Facebook. I mean, it's a great little 3 Fs in a row. I love that. I love that phrase. Right?
Makes it easy on me.
That's a lot of work. It's a lot of time. It's a lot of stress. Whereas to me, it sounds like the one-to-many model is a lot less input for a lot more output. I mean, is that what you've seen in your experience?
It's the difference between a shotgun and a laser beam. It's people just stand up and they just blast away with their shotgun and hope one BB is going to hit one person that's going to buy this thing. We use a laser beam because we're only talking to people that are perfect for the product, whether it's an individual or a health professional. We are only spending time. We're only spending our valuable time. Guys, you can get more money. You can, everything else in life you can earn more of. You cannot earn more of your time, period. You have a finite number of seconds every day that you should that you should use to improve your life, your family's life, the world, people in emerging markets, everybody out there. If your joy and your mission is to improve the world, you're going to do it by having your time used effectively. If you're wasting time spamming people, if you're wasting 4 hours a day on Facebook, just spamming people out of the blue, or calling Aunt Jenny for the 45th time, begging her to buy your stuff, you are burning the one thing you have irreplaceable, and that's your time. Use your time more wisely. It's the best way to do any business, but especially network marketing. Because Philip, you were in network marketing. It can consume your entire day. Yeah. It can take up every minute of your day if you're not laser focused, or you can spend an hour a day talking to the right people and getting things done.
Well, that's why we stopped doing it, because it was so much. But let me ask this question then, because I've got to imagine that maybe there's someone who's listening or who's watching, and maybe they're in a network marketing business now, and maybe they love the product, and maybe they believe in it, but now they're hearing about this new system, and they haven't heard this before. Here's my question. Why is it? Because I guess, network marketing companies themselves want people to sell the product. Why aren't existing network marketing companies already talking about this if it works so well?
Philip, for some reason, they are just so bound and determined to stick to a 75-year-old model that worked amazingly well. We all know that, it all kicked off with Amway, and it went, from there. And believe it or not, Amway is still the biggest network marketing company on the planet. So, so at some level, they have done the right thing, but they're very specific with their training. If you've ever seen Amway's training, it's phenomenal, but it only works in the one-to-one model. It's purely based in invite somebody you don't know to a coffee shop, give them your pitch, follow up with them until they buy or die. it's work. I mean, they've been around for 75 years. They're still doing it, but it's 2022, man. Like it's a different time. People don't want to be talked to. They want to. Okay, it always comes back to the same thing that we say about sales. Everybody wants to buy. Nobody wants to be sold to. So when you think about that and you juxtaposition your thinking as they want to buy something that is going to improve their life, they don't want to be sold something that will not improve their life. When you think that way, it makes it so you realize that 75-year-old model, it's time to wash it away. But because there's enough success. So, I mean, think about the 50% drop-off rate. That means that 50% of people are still there and supplying this $40 billion industry. So as far as the companies are concerned, I'm not trying to badmouth companies. Believe me, I love them. I love, the ownership of these companies, but the model works for them. Okay. That's the thing that you never want to forget. This model still works for network marketing companies. It does not work for network marketers who want to be ethical, professional, and clinical about the things they do.
Wow. That is so cool, Mel. Well, I got to say, I mean, I could probably keep talking about this all day because I love hearing your heart and your passion, seeing how you are literally transforming lives by helping people who have great products that can make a great difference in people's lives. You're helping them actually reach the people who need it most and do it with less time, less effort, and sounds like a lot more financial results to boot, which is always helpful, right?
Which makes it more fun. Getting paid is always fun.
Oh, that is so cool. Well, let me ask this then. As we kind of get ready to wrap it up, I want to make sure that people can take action so that if they want to learn more about this, if they think that what they've heard today is something that could really help them in their life, in their business, in their practice, how can they take action to learn more about this amazing offer?
All you're going to have to do is go to the 7figuredownline.com. So it's the number 7. So not the, sorry, I said the. So 7, the number, figuredownline.com. We'll have a button or something, I think, that's going to pop up.
We'll put a button on the page, yeah. If you're watching this video, we'll put that on the page.
We'll try to make it as easy as possible, but, in case you're watching this on your phone or somebody just tells you about it, 7figuredownline.com is where you're going to find information about this entire system, about all the thirds, everything you're going to learn, and whether it's right for you. I mean, that's the most important part is, are you ready to grow your business in an ethical and professional way? If that's the most important thing to you, the way you're going to move the needle fastest is by working with health professionals. There's just no getting around it. You can't move the needle fast enough by pestering friends, family, and Facebook. You got to help the world in general. And that's what the one-to-many model does. That
is so cool. All right, last thing, and then we'll wrap it up. Mel, not to be unkind, but you've been in business for a long time.
Yeah.
In the years that you've been in business, what would you say to our viewers and listeners to inspire them on their business journey? What would you want to leave with them as a word of wisdom for people who want to grow their business?
If you've chosen network marketing, you made a right choice because that means that you wanted to serve other people. Nobody gets into network marketing purely for the money. We all get in for the service because we felt a difference from our product ourselves. So carry that with you. Extrapolate that into a bigger and better audience by helping health professionals. Don't limit yourself to house parties. Don't limit yourself to one-on-one. Don't limit yourself to meeting strangers in coffee shop, or even worse, limit yourself to spamming Facebook. If you spend 5 minutes on Facebook right now, you're going to see a million ads for people saying, spam Facebook, spam Facebook, spam Facebook. That is not growing network marketing companies. Being laser focused on the right people for your product, and then figuring out a way to serve them en masse, as many as humanly possible. If you don't have a one-to-many model built into your network marketing business right now, you are going to grow much slower than possible. And probably, and I'm not trying to be a negative Nancy here, but you're probably not going to hit the top rank that you should hit because you're going to get stuck in that one-to-few model. One-to-many will make it so you can hit your goal and then go as high as you want. I mean, we made it to Blue Diamond and it was just using the same exact model.
Awesome. Well, once again, Mel, thank you so much for joining us. It's been great to have you. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Philip. I appreciate the time.
All righty, friends. Well, that's all the time we have today. I'm going to put my pin back up. Thank you for joining us here on the Betterology podcast. And if you want to learn more about what you've seen, if this has captured your imagination, if you're ready to take action, we're all about taking action here, go ahead and click the button if you see it on the screen, or visit 7figuredownline.com so you can take your next steps today. Great to have you with us as always, friends, and we'll see you next time right here on the Betterology podcast.